Hello and welcome to Impact Presents ProConnect. Friends, I hope you all are doing well. You might have seen our first ProConnect session. For all those who are yet to watch, I'll give you all a brief introduction to what ProConnect is all about. ProConnect is a one of its kind webinar series where we focus on content powered by Internet of People, creating awareness on building automation, building strength by togetherness. ProConnect is a neutral platform that enables building automation professionals to connect directly with your customers, with your organization values. Now, you must be pretty excited to know who is our guest of honor today. We are extremely delighted to introduce you all to our esteemed guest today, Mr. Vishwanathan. He is a very well known figure in the real estate and facility service industry. He is the driving factor for Capgemini's huge success in developing one of their biggest campuses in Bangalore, India, to be the first Indian corporate workspace to receive a net zero energy platinum certificate from the Indian Green Building Council. Apart from the significant contributions he has made to his organization, Capgemini, spanning development and maintenance of large campus facilities, designing and implementation of green initiatives within his organization, setting up of LEED Platinum rated campus infra projects in Pune and Mumbai. He has also started a Go Green initiative in India. His vision is to see Capgemini becoming a net zero business by 2030. Mr. Vishwanathan, we welcome you, sir, to ProConnect.
Thank you, Adrija.
Yeah. So, this pandemic has taught us that it's high time to develop a long lasting solution space for the infrastructures. High carbon use, unhealthy design, and operations of buildings have adversely impacted the environment, lives of people, and also the world economy. Excessive pollution, poor health, and expensive operations have already taken a huge toll on us. How do you suggest we should act now in the present with respect to energy conservation so that we can define a better course for our next generations to come?
Conservation of resources has to be our main focus to be progressively self-sustainable and reduce our operational costs and is an important first step towards reducing our carbon footprint. Our climate change strategy should focus on reducing our operational greenhouse gas emissions to low carbon technologies.
That was really enriching, sir. Now, we would also like to know from you that after this pandemic, how important is it to take into account wellness, physical, and mental health?
Physical and mental health are very important. Post-pandemic, we have seen reports of surge in working hours, lack of physical movement, and working long hours will certainly affect one's mental and physical health. It is very important for human beings to interact with fellow colleagues, collaborate, and work. This will not only help with better output, but will also keep the employee morale and their health in good spirit.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you for this explanation. Moving ahead, we would like to know your thoughts on this. Utility concerns around the zero energy buildings.
Utility concerns are a challenge in India. Though India is in a good geography to generate enough solar power to power our buildings, state utilities and state regulations have still not matured to supply 100% renewable energy for our buildings. So I have a suggestion here. Like in Western worlds, utilities can look at supply of renewable energy from private partners to buildings directly, and this will bring a welcome change. And This is the way where we can quickly convert all our buildings into a net zero energy buildings.
I hope this answers a lot of questions that circle around this topic. This was really helpful, I'm sure, for all our viewers as well. Now, sir, would you like to give a key message to the customers on the importance of energy sustainability of buildings?
Sure. The science has proven beyond doubt that the Earth's climate is changing and then changing much faster. Global warming is not caused by natural forces beyond our control. So it is our responsibility to fix it. We must all take credible action to prevent climate change, to protect our planet, because we simply can't afford not to act. The crisis of climate change provides us the opportunity as well. Each one of us is a cause of global warming, but each of us can become part of the solution in the decision we make on what we buy, the amount of electricity we use, the commute we do, etc. We have to make choices so that no unnecessary carbon is released because of our own actions. You can make it a time of renewal by seizing the opportunity that are bound up in the crisis. You can preserve the health of our planet so that it will remain beautiful for generations and centuries to come.
Definitely. Thank you for this message. I think it's relevant for all of us. While everyone emphasizes on green and net zero buildings, the key is monitoring, control, and data inferences for improvement. Could you please throw light on it?
In reaching ambitious sustainability goals, a combination of deep and digital technologies like IoT, automation, data analytics, storage technologies, artificial intelligence are very key. Buildings account for more than 33% of global carbon emissions. Buildings needs to be connected and data driven. So one need to customize the results based on the data and as per requirement to get meaningful and actionable results based on the data. This will help us to save energy and cost and prevent energy leakages in the building.
Of course, yes. Now, could you please emphasize more on the crucial need of standardization? Also, how important is it for the buildings to be interoperable, connected, data driven in order to sustain in the future?
Certainly, in my view, standardization is very key in seamlessly monitoring different equipment through common application. How this is possible? You can standardize only when you have the equipment communicate through an open source protocol. For example, in a building, we have various equipment like HVAC, electrical equipment. Under HVAC itself, we have different equipment for comfort air conditioning. For critical room environment, we have a different HVAC application. Similarly, with electrical infrastructure, we have different equipment and so on and so forth. All this equipment should communicate on an open source protocol for seamlessly integrating through a common application. This will help us to monitor, control various equipment seamlessly. On the other hand, if proprietary protocols are used, every equipment manufacturers will come up with their own protocols and a separate set of applications. You cannot maintain multiple applications in a single building. And operation through the building management system becomes very critical. So, standardization and operating the equipment through an open source protocol will be very easy for building managers to navigate through various building equipment seamlessly, control, monitor, and take actionable results out of the data which they get. Also, when the equipment is replaced or retrofitted, it will be easy for us if open source protocol is used, so that we'll be able to retrofit, replace the equipment, go with the different manufacturers who are bringing in different energy efficient equipment, which can again seamlessly communicate through the common application. So, in my view, standardization and use of open protocol is very key for a building operation.
Wow, wonderful. This is the most relevant and effectual message our viewers need right now. Thank you for this fantastic discussion, sir. After this pandemic, when people have gradually started resorting to renewable sources of energy, this discussion will definitely come as a refreshing, conclusive solution to all of us. Thank you all for being with us. We will meet you soon with yet another interesting topic, with yet another inspiring personality. Till then, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.